So you don't hear about the red Jeep too much. This little Jeep we bought for going off-road. We bought it stock, lifted it, and it's always been a very reliable vehicle. But it's always had one strange problem. Maybe not always, but it seems like for like a long time. It doesn't like to start after it's been driving. It's not that it doesn't like to start, it doesn't like to turn over. So it's been parked for quite a while, so it may or may not do it. But let's see what happens. So that was pretty good. That's not really what I'm talking about, but you could kind of hear how it didn't want to just spin. What happens is if I drive it and I park, it does that, but just more dramatic. And today I took it for a drive to a little town near the farm, and I've been doing this and I just let it run because I'm terrified it won't start again, and I don't really have a good way to get home if it dies. So today I took the chance. I went to the post office, I turned it off, and sure enough, it wouldn't start. And I just waited a while and let it cool down a bit, and it started back up. It's not a fuel problem. I guess it could be a fuel problem, but I'm going down the wrong path again here, and I got to change the starter out because I just feel like it's a starter. And if that doesn't solve it, then I'm going to start looking at fuel and timing and other things. But it doesn't make sense to me why, even if it's a fuel problem or a timing problem, maybe a timing problem, but if it's a fuel problem, why wouldn't it at least turn over consistently? Instead of it sounds like a dead battery, but the battery has full voltage. I've tried changing the batteries out, doing it with a charger on the battery, all kinds of different things, and it just doesn't like to start when it's hot. And this happens, I give it a jump start and it will start. It's like it's pulling too much current when it's trying to start, just like I went through with the green Jeep, which changing that starter out did absolutely nothing. I do feel like it does start better, but it didn't need to be done. So I'm going to change the starter on this one and see if it fixes the problem. We're not going to know if it fixed it until I take it for a drive and I turn it off and I come out of the store and I come out and it just turns over nicely and starts right back up. So here's my new starter. Cute little thing, isn't it? This thing's I've never had to replace the starter on it, so maybe it needs to be replaced. I know it's very greasy, so this is not going to be a fun job. It's kind of got an oil leak, like on the filter. Maybe I didn't tighten the filter down enough, huh? So I believe there's 3. Oh man, are these going to be really hard to get to? I see one here, and then I see. Now I'm starting to wonder if this is not the right starter. Kind of does not look like the right one. I don't think this is the right starter. I wonder what this is for then. Shoot. Well, I don't think this is the right starter that I have. Well, where did I buy it? I bought it online, of course, so how am I won't be able to get my money back on it. Now I have a worthless starter that I paid $70 for. I'm not sure I do well with this whole online thing. Because how hard, like if I type in 1999 Jeep Cherokee, don't you think I would get the right starter, like 100%? So I'll pull this out and just see, but it does not look like the right starter to me. So I'm trying to get this clip off. I cleaned it up a little bit, but I'm trying to figure out, I think it's got this little red tab that goes up. You know, this is like soaked in oil. I wonder if that's my problem. I might just try to clean these terminals up. You know, I'm just going to try to take this thing out. That's nice and sharp right there. I like that. Nice and sharp. I like all these nice sharp edges. Oh, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Oh, God, finally got that corner. That's great. I got an idea. Let's put the frickin' transmission coolant lines. I think that's what those are. There's no way the starter's going to work because it doesn't have a through hole on this side. It's got all threaded holes, so it can't be the right starter. Cannot be the right starter. But let's clean this one up and put it back in and just see if it's maybe just a bad connection on the starter. Because what else are you going to do with your night? And then there's one back here, and I think that's it. I like to give you parts that don't fit your vehicle so that you get to come back into the store. And every time you come back into the store, you get another can of Brake Clean or something. Matchbox car or Hot Wheels and a Coke. That's $12. Oh, this is fun. That's not gonna fit. I gotta get a smaller 9/16. A 9/16 like doesn't fit on there. I had a 15 millimeter down here. Yeah, that fits perfectly. What's that? 15 millimeter. Oh, wonderful. Helps to have the right socket. I don't know why one's 9/16 and one's 15 millimeter. I guess they're both 15 millimeter. I should just use the beer's getting warm. Oh, I broke it. That's awesome. I mean, I broke it loose. It's weird that it's like not falling out. I know I should have taken the wires off first, but I like these little baby starters. Oh, yeah. All right. It's close, but not really. This is not the right starter. Dang it. So I think I'll try to just clean this guy up. All I can do is just clean it up, put it back on, and hope for the best. And then try to order the right one. I think that driving out here on these dirt roads really takes its toll on these trucks. I bet when I do get the right starter, it won't be so terrible to get it out now, since I kind of know what I'm doing. There's a part number that I just kind of wiped off. Mitsubishi Electric Company. Actually makes sense. This is not a good Harbor Freight purchase. I bought them so I could put a wrench on the end and use them, but they don't have a square shaft, and this doesn't do, so it's completely worthless. That worked. Now I'm stripping it out. I'm not sure why you'd put Phillips heads on something like this, and how anyone ever got them this tight, you know. That's really kind of stripped out already. Shit. So another night of pretty much zero accomplishment, but I did clean up the terminals, and maybe that was causing the problem. Like this wire to the coil had oil in it. I think maybe my oil filter is leaking. I'm gonna try to tighten it up a little bit. I doubt that was the problem, but the starter that I got, I bought it at AutoZone. I looked up this part number and it came up as the starter for 99 Jeep Cherokee. So it's obviously, they gave me the wrong part. They have the wrong number on there. This happens to me in my work. I order stuff from these reputable supply houses and I get the wrong part and they go, nope, that's the right one, it's got the right number on it. But I'm confident AutoZone will give me my money back if I need it, or give me the right starter, which should look more like this. But if you go to AutoZone and you ask for the starter, it's that same part number. So I don't know what's going on, but it's not the right starter. I get to do this again. At least I know how to do it now. It should go quite a bit smoother. And there is always the very slim chance that by what I did tonight will actually have a good effect and the truck will start working a little bit better for me. So let's go put the starter back in, see what happens. I don't think there's YouTube video awards, like creator awards or anything, but I would like to think that if there were, that maybe I'd get some votes for this video, because I think it's pretty creative. Because who would ever do a video of pulling a starter out and then putting that same starter back in and accomplish absolutely nothing in the process? That's always my goal. You know what I was going to actually do was I was going to put the jumper cables on this and test it. We should do that. It's only 10 volts, so maybe that's why it sounds kind of weak. I don't know. It's a little windy. It should start. If I did anything right, it should start. I don't know if you heard it, but hear how it just didn't like start nicely. Listen to it start. Well, so that's kind of the problem. I accomplished absolutely nothing, but I'm going to take that starter back and replace it for the right one, and then I think I will come back and change the starter out. At least I got it back to where it was and I can move it. Seems like it always does start for me. It just, like I said, I gotta let it cool off. But anyways, thank you guys for being here, and thanks for voting for me for the most creative YouTube video of taking a component out of a vehicle and putting it back exactly like it was and accomplishing absolutely nothing. I think I'm walking away with the trophy on that one. I should have taken the camera with me too on my drive today, because I actually left me stranded for about 12 minutes and then it started for me. So now when you go out in the wilderness and you go on a hike and you leave your Jeep at the trailhead and you're going to be back after dark and you're not sure if it's going to start, it's a little unnerving. I love this Jeep. It's definitely one of my all-time favorite vehicles I've ever owned. So I want to get it running good. Thanks, guys. Had to come back out to the farm for a couple days and didn't really have food and water out here and wasn't planning to stay for very long. And then once I was out here, I decided that I might as well try to stay out here and get a couple things done. Last time I was home, I was fortunate enough to get my starter for the red Jeep swapped out for the right one. AutoZone made it really easy for me to swap it out. This one cost about another $100 though, so that was kind of a bummer. Let's see if we can get this sucker put in. Disconnected the battery. It's pretty nice that it just comes out like that. You don't have to remove drive shafts or exhaust pipes or anything like that. So now we hope and pray this is the right one. Yeah, it's like opposite. Interesting. That seems like the right way to go. This one might have been on backwards. All right, let's see, that oil filter's definitely leaking. I'm gonna try and tighten that down. So, did we fix anything? Oh, I'm nervous. I want this to be, God, what if this thing just was, what if that solves the problem? That would be just so incredible. Seems like it starts a lot better to me. I was going to say another win, but I couldn't remember what the other win would be, so. I am pretty excited because I've been, for the longest time, I just felt like it can't be the starter. And I don't know for sure yet until I get myself out on a dirt road somewhere and I'm far from home and I go back to the truck and it just starts right up, then I'll be like, yes, I fixed it. I'm going to drive to town and get some groceries and maybe some beer, and I'm going to test this thing out and hopefully it will start and problem solved. So just to go through it real quick in case anyone was wondering, I'm not going to do it. You guys know how to change a starter. So this was the test. I went to the store and normally it would probably not start right now. So watch how happy I am that it starts. When you drive a brand new vehicle, you don't really worry about going to the store and your car not starting. But when you drive a 99 Jeep with almost 200,000 on it, you lose that security. So it's so nice to have it back. Oh, that dog's not happy. I'm heading back with food and water and my dog. Well, I'm stopping for gas first, and then who knows what the night's gonna bring. Let's go see if we can work on the tractor a little bit. All right, see you guys real soon. Well, I'm doing my favorite thing. So I got the John Deere running pretty good, and then I didn't. I couldn't get it to turn off, so I pulled the spark plug wires on it, and then I couldn't get it to start back up. So thought I'd take a break from that and work on the 81 Chevy, and I got it to start, but I still can't get it to go into gear. I got a little discouraged, and I thought, you know, the little red XJ is doing pretty good right now. I think I will do the thing I like doing the most. I love watching the sunsets. So went for a little drive, enjoying a beer. It's just all pasture of Nebraska. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a good one. guys.